Alright, so this video is a tutorial for a fourth movement principle I call binding. If you haven't seen the other three tutorials, I'd recommend at least seeing some of the buoy movements first, just to get a sense of how to maintain and be aware of a good sense of structural integrity in the spine. The primary difference between binding and just casual turning is that we're going to have to pay closer attention to detail to coordinating the motor plan between the exoskeleton and the limbs, primarily the arms, for this video, and maintaining structural support in the spine, avoiding any twisting and shortening that might occur through quick movements or just movements that are lacking coordination. So, first thing we're going to do is focus on the feet. You can have them a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and you're going to try to use the legs to initiate the turning. Primarily, if I just mirror my feet here, I'm going to add a little bit of rotational force forward with this foot here, and I'm going to have a little bit of backwards movement with the other foot. So if you initiate this movement in your feet kind of like you're going to scuff the ground, the ground isn't going to go anywhere. You're going to rotate in the opposite direction. So if I move my feet in this direction, it's actually going to turn me the other way. So I'm initiating the forward movement with one, driving the heel back into the other. It's turning me to the left. And it doesn't really matter which way you go, but the main thing is that you want to initiate through the legs, and you want to feel the inner thighs and the outer working across the hips. All right, that's going to keep a lot of tension from accumulating up in the back. You can keep your focus down on the feet. So if I'm turning this way, I'm squeezing the leg muscles as much as I can, using the adductors, glute muscles as well. Next thing I want to do is try to coordinate the movement of my shoulder blades. Generally, it's very easy to do some quick movements with the spine. So we're going to focus on arms and legs to coordinate them with the turn. So again, I'm using my legs first. Now the next part that I want to make sure I coordinate is the movement of my shoulder blades. I'm going to have this shoulder move back slightly, and the other one is going to move forward slightly. So I'm actually going to use the most common trunk rotators last because they tend to get used the easiest. We're actually, by doing this movement right here, I'm engaging the lats and I'm treating them as very large oblique muscles. When your shoulder blades are in the right position, the lats at the right length are going to function like very large obliques and act as very strong trunk rotators. Similarly, the pecs are going to have to balance out with the activity of the lats. So I'm actually getting a little bit of lower pec activity on this side here as my shoulder comes forward slightly, and this lat is lengthening, and I'm relaxing the pec on this side to coordinate with the lats behind me, shortening more. Doing very little actual oblique work in this exercise. And then what I do from here is that if I feel any tension building up as a result of the contractions, I want to maintain those muscles, keep them working, and use them to pull me through to the other direction. So I felt a little bit of pulling around the obliques, but more so the tissue. You may feel it directly in the muscles. It's going to be different for everyone, and it's going to move over time the longer you practice the exercise. So again, I'm initiating the movement by that shuffle of the feet, which is moving my body in the opposite direction. I'm engaging the adductors, the glutes, and then I'm trying to engage the large movers of the pecs and the lats to facilitate trunk rotation. I'm going to have slight movement of the shoulders. This one again may come slightly forward. The other one on this side is going to tuck behind slightly. If I overdo it, it's going to cause me to lean back if I oversqueeze the lats and overwork them. So I want to make sure that Not only am I moving the shoulders forward and back, I want to keep them as level as possible. And again, if you have a second set of eyes or a mirror, it's going to be much easier to do. Doing very little with the neck at this point. So from here, if you feel any activity, it's your end range of motion. Initiate by redistributing the exertion through the legs and keeping that muscle activity going consistently to pull you all the way through to the other side of the range of motion. And if you go back to the buoy exercise, make sure that you're always maintaining even pressure through the feet, keeping this head very tall with a slight tilt. What you can also do for the neck, generally there's a lot of muscle imbalances. People don't use their neck muscles through full range of motion very often. You can actually start to engage the muscles by looking out of the corner of your eyes. It's going to start loosening up some of the occipital rotators of the skull, the cervical vertebrae. So I'm turning here, I'm looking towards the back wall, peeking out of the corner of my eyes. And then you can incorporate your gaze slowly across the room or wherever you are without speeding it up or slowing it down. And using the feet to turn yourself the other way. Again, primary activity, for me at least, is coming through the thighs, engaging the pecs and the lats, coordinating the pecs and the lats so that they function as accessories of trunk rotation to the obliques. You may not feel the obliques working or stretching for a few repetitions, or if you practice just very slowly and deliberately, or have good range of motion, good coordination, anything like that. So again, one of the primary components of binding are that you want to make sure that you're not shortening across the joints, shortening the spine, and then the other component of the binding is that when you have all of the muscles working around a particular joint, there's going to be a compressive force that stabilizes the joint as well. As soon as you have any of those muscles out of alignment, it's going to start pulling differently on the bones, and you won't have that same structural support that comes from all of the muscles contracting at the same time. So this is the fourth video. Again, I'll probably repost this. People have a lot of questions, and then we'll move on to more advanced exercises or require more coordination from here.